Amidst the Feminism Quest. Embark on an empowering journey of women's courage, valor, dignity, strength, and true wilderness. Strong Women Book 2. Written by Israa. Narrated by Timothy Burke. To my mother. I have an entire forest inside me, and you have carved your initials into every tree. Introducing. Arya took her first step towards her dream, and she was able to get permission to live with her brother in another city to do work. Raj was always busy with his work, so he didn't pay much attention to Arya. She started her studies in a government college to save money for further studies. She did some part-time jobs to pay for her expenses. Within the next 2 years, she topped her exams and got a foreign scholarship for her other studies in Canada. The journey of her success begins. There was a seminar at Heba's school at which she had to deliver a speech. The chief guests were some foreigners and some of her own country's politicians. Her speech and confidence level make her extraordinary and allow her to be a professional motivational speaker. Her family supported her, but her father did not. Still, she took advantage and flew to Canada. Elizabeth tried to implement some new ideas in the business, but faced much disappointment. She decided to complete her master's in business and is still trying to implement something new. For this reason, she was admitted to a foreign university in Canada and moved there. Bahati work was so efficient and hardworking that her boss decided to send her to get some training in another city. She did not know what was waiting for her, but still agreed. After returning, there was the usual perfection in her work, which led the boss to complete her studies and be a professional advocate of humanities issues. The company did have a policy to pay all the employees' expenses if they think the employee can be more successful, and so Bahati was given this chance. She flew to Canada and got her training there, along with gets admitted to a well-known university. Julia's children were old enough to leave home. She had nothing to do at that time, so she started working on her dreams in her leisure time. Unfortunately, her husband got ill and was diagnosed with cancer. She took him to Canada for his treatment. At the same time, she continued her practice there. One day, while she was practicing, a coach saw her running. He offered her a job. She was happy that at least she got a chance to prove herself. Chapter 1. Migrating to Mumbai. You know how those years are when you're just exiting your teens and entering your 20s. Your friends are your world. You wear whatever they wear. You are doing whatever they are doing. Many of my friends were studying science. Therefore, I assumed I'd also imitate. Anyway, it had been about time I left village. Then, a bit like that, I decided to pack my bags and leave for Mumbai. Some time passed. SIES College of Arts, Science and Commerce in Mumbai was among the few institutes in India that offered a degree in microbiology. My idea was first to study chemistry, then microbiology, and eventually become a pathologist. Abu visited me often at my university, mainly carrying tons of stuff. Sometimes he brought a quintal of wheat or lentils, sometimes sacks of luscious mangoes or the choicest of other fruits that were in season. Anybody else may need to consider lugging such heavy loads along such an extended way laborious, but not apparent. For Abu, these were treasures for his child, so he carried them with joy. He traveled by bus. We all did in those days, as that was the sole option for us. He also had heavy sacks on his head, as bags weighing around 10 kilograms on his shoulders and arms. In Budana, of course, some young chap would load it into the bus for him. He was an enormous man in Budana, and there was simply no way the villagers would let him leave any luggage. Then, when he had to vary buses at the depot, Abu picked it up by himself and walked. I had that arrogant ignorance of the young. I used to be too young to understand just how hard he worked to bring these treats from Budana.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?